Oh man, pretty close game against the Cavaliers today. The Indiana Pacers lost against the Cavs 127 to 124. It was a pretty close game for most of the game, but overall they couldn't get the win. Malcolm Brogdon is the one name to just blame for the Pacers losing the lead, and overall he really is the reason why they kind of lost this game. So we're going to go over the game talking about the box score and the Pacers. So what's up? My name is Pacers Empire. If you like the video, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, I'd appreciate it, and let's get into the video. So by the way, if I do sniffle sometimes, I have some allergies, you know what I mean. It's almost spring soon, so with that out of the way, let's get into the game. So we'll start off with the Pacers side of things. So Malcolm Brogdon, 12 points, 12 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 turnovers, 6 of 15 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, no free throws. Horrible game overall from Malcolm Brogdon. Now he did have 12 assists, which is a good thing to see, but he also had 5 turnovers and 6 of 15 from the field, which is pretty inefficient. So down the stretch in the fourth quarter, he was taking most of the shots when I think Tyrese Halliburton should have taken it, and he wasn't making anything. A lot of times he would just drive into the hoop and wouldn't get any fouls, or just straight would get stopped on defense. It was just horrible overall. I don't know what's happening with Malcolm Brogdon. He's been able to score in double figures in the last few games since returning from injury. The problem with him is that his efficiency is completely out of the water. I mean, it's streaky sometimes. Last game against the Wizards, it was 47%. The game before that against Detroit, it was 39%. You can see there's just a huge trend of it going up and down. So Malcolm Brogdon, I wouldn't say he's in a slump, but I think he does need to do better. I don't know. He was the primary playmaker alongside Tyrese, but he couldn't get it done down in the stretch and was a negative 15 in the plus minus. So next, we'll talk about Tyrese Halliburton, who was the best player for the Indiana Pacers, logging in a +4 for the plus minus, and had 25 points, 9 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block, 4 turnovers, which is pretty horrible, but he did go 9 of 14 from the field and 4 of 7 from 3. Very efficient night from Tyrese Halliburton, and since coming to the Pacers, he's been pretty electric. If you look at his overall stats with the Pacers, he's averaging around 19 points per game, 10 assists, 5 rebounds on 50% from the field and 40% from the 3. So he's been pretty amazing for this Indiana Pacers squad, and even though they have been losing, I think moving forward, he's going to be the primary point guard alongside Malcolm Brogdon. And unless they do decide to move Malcolm Brogdon, I think Tyrese Halliburton's probably going to be running the 2 until further notice. So next we got Buddy Hield, who has 14 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal in the block, 3 turnovers, 5 of 6 from the field, and 4 of 4 from 3. I can't really blame Buddy Hield for missing an open layup late in the fourth. He had a pretty great game overall, 4 of 4 from 3. Hit a clutch 3 down in the fourth that helped us get the lead back, and it was a great game overall from Buddy Hield. The one thing I want to see from him moving forward is him being able to take more shots, because taking 6 shots overall in the game in just 38 minutes isn't going to get it really done. So if he can take some more threes, some more shots, then I would be pretty satisfied. So next we got Isaiah Jackson, who played pretty well and had 12 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 blocks on 6 to 7 from the field. Jackson, he's actually carving out a pretty great role on this Pacers squad. He is a rookie, obviously, averaging 7 points, 4 rebounds on 58% from the field and 30% from 3. He did have an injury, I want to say, a couple days back, so he is returning from an injury. He's only played in 2 games in the last few games. So overall, Isaiah Jackson has a lot of potential. I think the one thing that's going to set him over the hump is him being able to stay healthy and overall get out of foul trouble, because he did have 3 fouls today. I think the last game against the Wizards, he had like 4 fouls in the fourth or third. It was bad overall in terms of foul trouble, but he is a pretty great starter for this team. And finally, we have Oshae Brissett with 5 points, 4 rebounds. He didn't do too much today, 2 of 8 from the field. Didn't really strike me as someone that is going to impact this team, so I don't really think they're going to bring him back in the offseason. He was good last year for them. He absolutely slowed down this season for whatever reason, so hopefully he can come back better. And I don't know, he's an interesting player for this roster. If they do decide to bring him back, it's probably going to be off the bench, but he could be a good piece off the bench, maybe, or even maybe like a trade piece in the trade for maybe another forward that they really need, because looking at it right now, their forwards and, small forwards and power forwards are pretty much weak. And looking at the bench for the Pacers this game, the scoring output was pretty great. So looking at it right now, we'll start off with Jalen Smith, one of my favorite players on the Pacers right now, with 15 points, 5 rebounds, and a block on 5 of 9 from the field and 2 of 4 from 3. So Jalen Smith, he's been pretty amazing for this Pacers squad. I think he deserves the start over Oshae Brissett. Overall, I mean, he's been proving to the league that he's the most underrated big in the league. In his last 10 games, actually, he's been averaging 13 points, around 8 rebounds, and 1 assist. He's been electric, and it was a great move by the front office to pick up this guy for Torrey Craig. So moving forward, I think they're going to be re-signing this guy. He has a lot of potential. He's showing a lot of potential, and his ceiling is pretty high. So Goga Bitadze, another strong outing, 15 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal and a block on 6 of 10 from the field, and 2 of 4 from 3. So if I'm being honest with you, I didn't think Goga Bitadze was really nice like this. He's been pretty much balling in the last 2 games. Last game against the Wizards, 20 points, 6 rebounds. This game, 15 points and 9 rebounds. He is pretty much thriving in that backup role behind Isaiah Jackson. And moving forward, he could be a pretty okay backup center, nothing too amazing. He is able to stretch the floor, 2 of 4 from 3 today. Over the season, 25%, which isn't all that great. But in the last 10 games, he's actually shooting around 63% from the 3. So if they can keep him off the bench, make him as, I wouldn't even say like maybe a 18 to 15 minute per game center off the bench, then I wouldn't be too mad about it. But next we got Dwayne Washington, 15 points and an assist. He played pretty well today, 6 to 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. And finally, Chris Duarte with 11 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist and a steal on 4 of 14 from the field. So Duarte, returning from a toe injury, I think pre-All-Star break. He didn't look too well today. I will cut him some slack because, he hasn't played in a while to be on the NBA court, but he's got to do better. 4 of 14 from the field is pretty unacceptable. One of my favorite rookies in the class, probably my favorite rookie overall. It's just that he's pretty inconsistent. Over the season, actually, he's been pretty great, but in the last few games hasn't been impressive at all. So, yeah, the Pacers, they fought hard today. They do versus these San Antonio Spurs actually on Saturday, so a 4-day break. Hopefully they can pull out a dub. DeJounte Murray is a pretty great player, an all-star at that, because he was an all-star game. But I think they could beat the Spurs. It just depends on if Malcolm Brogdon doesn't sell in the fourth, if Halliburton can stay consistent overall, Jalen Smith, Isaiah Jackson can stay out of foul trouble, and overall just the team playing overall as a team. So that's the video. My name is Pacers Empire, and I'm out. Peace.